Hello, my name is Chris and I'm a U-Haul hitch professional. If you're planning on towing a trailer with your Ford Bronco, then you're going to need trailer wiring. It is required by the law. Now let's take a look at how we complete this install. You will need the following tools or supplies to complete this installation. We will begin with the back door open, the lift glass up, and we can remove 6 fasteners on the tail light trim. 2 with a 10mm socket, and 4 using a Phillips head and a flathead. Use the Phillips head to remove the center of the trim clip. If they do not retract, use the flathead screwdriver to help pry them out. We can now gently pry the tail light trim away from the vehicle. You may need a trim panel tool to help. Now repeat for the passenger side. We're now ready to install our wire harness. The brown, yellow, and white adapters will install on the driver's side. We need to fish them behind the bumper, past the adapter, over the driver's side frame rail. Reach around with your opposite hand and grab it from above the bumper. Disconnect the driver's side tail light by using perhaps a small flathead screwdriver to depress the tab. You can now plug in the mating ends of the adapters. You can now detach the white wire slightly in order to place the ring terminal in a good mounting location. Use a power drill and a 1/4-inch bit holder and the provided self-tapping screw to affix this to a bare metal surface. We're now ready to route the green adapter to the passenger side tail light. Because this is an off-road vehicle and we're very close to the rear exhaust, I'm going to go ahead and use some wire loom. This is not included with the kit, but you can pick it up at your nearest local U-Haul hitch center, or you can order some from the link in the description below. The wire loom comes in 4 feet lengths. I am going to use the whole length on the green wire. You may also want an additional length later on to cover the 4 flat connector. With the wire loom on, we can now route our green adapter to the passenger side tail light. We're going to leave it on loosely so that we can adjust it to be exactly where we need it to protect. Pass it over the exhaust bracket. Pass it up over the passenger side frame rail. Reach around with your opposite hand as before and grab the adapter. You can now remove the electrical adapter and insert the T connector. Leave a couple of inches right here at the passenger side to prevent against future pinch points and secure it using electrical tape. Now secure the second end of the wire loom to the green wire. Now pull the slack to the driver's side. We can now secure the converter box using the provided double-sided sticky tape to the driver's side frame rail. You can now use the provided long zip tie by passing it through the hole in the frame and securing the converter box further. I'm now going to pull the slack of the green wire to the driver's side so I can place my wire loom in a good spot to protect it all the way along the exhaust and bumper. You can now use zip ties to secure it to the bumper beam. We're now ready to connect and route our power wire, so let's jump up to the engine compartment. I will be installing the U-Haul exclusive Power Wire 1. It is OE grade with pre-built in abrasion resistance, so for that reason I'm going to start in the engine compartment and work backwards. I'm going to use a power point underneath the fuse panel to press 3 tabs to lift up the fuse panel cover. You can now remove this fastener with a 13mm socket. Place the ring terminal of the fuse holder over the post and re-secure it with the fastener. This lead is now hot, so let's cover the fuse holder with the cover before moving forward. Angle the wire and ring terminal for this location here so that it can pass underneath the fuse panel cover. You can now pass a fishing device down the firewall directly behind the brake master cylinder. Tape the power wire to your fishing device and pull it back up into the engine compartment. You can now connect your power wire to the fuse holder. Find a suitable location for the fuse holder, and we can now begin using the zip ties to secure our power wire to existing electrical harnesses here in the engine compartment. Here, inside and behind the driver front tire, on top of the frame is where the brake lines can be found. We're going to pull all our power wire slack down and zip tie with at least 2 zip ties in this point before continuing backwards. You can now route the power wire rearward, following the hard metal brake lines, securing it with zip ties along the way. At the rear of the vehicle, go over the rear cross member, avoid any hot or moving parts. You can now trim off the excess power wire. Give yourself a little bit of slack so we can hide this with zip ties after we're done. Connect the wires using a heat shrink butt connector. It is not provided with the kit. You can now melt the heat shrink with your heat source of choice. We're now going to install a wiring bracket for our 4-flat connector. This is not included with the kit, but you can pick one up at your nearest local U-Haul hitch center or order one from the link in the description below. It can be mounted in your bumper, or in our case, mounted to the flange on the hitch. You can now use a Phillips head screwdriver and a 3/8 wrench to tighten the hardware. We can now place the dust cover over our 4-flat connector. Place the retention strap first. Now pass the wire harness into the bracket. Wiggle it into place and cover it with the cover. I'm now going to apply some more wire loom to my 4-flat wires as it gets close to the exhaust. This is a second amount of 4 feet, but I only need about 2 feet, so let's cut it in half. Secure both ends of your loom with electrical tape. Pull the slack to the driver's side, and now secure it to the bumper beam with another zip tie. Now coil up the excess wiring and place it over the converter box, and we will now use the provided long zip tie to secure these wires down onto the converter box and frame at the same time. Lastly, return to the engine compartment and insert a 10-amp fuse. You can now return your taillight trim. Be sure to go underneath the door strap on the passenger side. Be sure to cover the wire loom and green wire with the taillight trim. Now repeat for your driver's side trim. That concludes trailer wiring for your Ford Bronco. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to practice safe trailering, and I can't wait to see you out there. If you have any questions about the products seen in this video, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with your local U-Haul hitch professional, please visit us online at uhaulhitches.com. You can also download the U-Haul app using the link in the description for even more ways to manage your hitch and towing needs.